Imagine walking past the same homeless man every single day for 17 years ignoring him, avoiding eye contact, pretending he doesn't exist. That's exactly what everyone in this small town did. To them, he was just another face on the street, dirty clothes, unkempt beard, eyes filled with a sadness no one cared to understand. But what they didn't know was that this man had a story, a secret so shocking that when a sleek black SUV finally pulled up beside him, everything changed forever. Now, let's rewind to another moment that seems unrelated but ties into something bigger. A crowded bus, a tired black teen named Jamal notices a heavily pregnant white woman struggling to stand. Without hesitation, he gives up his seat, just a simple act of kindness. But then she does something unexpected. She slips him a note. And what's written on it? Well, let's just say Jamal's life would never be the same after reading those words. Two strangers. Two seemingly small moments. But here's the thing, fate has a way of connecting the unlikeliest of people. Because that homeless man, he wasn't always on the streets. And that pregnant woman, she knew exactly who he was. By the time this story unfolds, you'll be left wondering, how many times have we walked past someone without realizing they hold the key to a life-changing secret? So, what was in that note? And why did that black SUV stop for the homeless man after 17 years of silence? The answers will shock you, but you'll have to keep watching to find out. Because this isn't just a story about kindness or coincidence. This is a story about redemption, hidden identities, and the moment everything finally clicks. Stick around, you won't believe what happens next. Jamal stared at the note in his hands, his heart pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. The bus rumbled on, people chatting, phones buzzing, life moving like normal. But for him, time had stopped. The words on the crumpled paper were simple, but they hit him like a lightning strike. You have his eyes. If you want the truth, meet me at 217 Maple Street tomorrow at noon. Come alone. His first thought. This has to be a joke. But the woman's face, the way she had looked at him, like she'd seen a ghost, told him otherwise. And then there was the address. Maple Street. That was in the rich part of town, the kind of place Jamal never went unless he was working odd jobs. Why would some stranger want to meet him there? And what did she mean by you have his eyes ? Meanwhile, across town, the homeless man, known to most as Old Joe, sat on his usual bench, wrapped in a tattered coat that had seen too many winters. People hurried past him, same as always, but today was different. Today, he kept glancing down the street, like he was waiting for something. Or someone. Then, just as the sun began to dip behind the buildings, the black SUV rolled up. No fanfare, no warning, just the smooth purr of an expensive engine. The tinted window rolled down, and a voice from inside said, it's time. Old Joe didn't hesitate. He stood, shoulders straight for the first time in years, and climbed inside. The few people who noticed couldn't believe their eyes. Who was this man? And why did someone in a car like that care about him? Back on the bus, Jamal's mind raced. He thought about his mom, how she'd always been vague about his father. He wasn't ready to be a dad, she'd say, her voice tight. Some people just disappear. But what if he hadn't just left? What if there was more to the story? That night, Jamal barely slept. When morning came, he stood in front of the mirror, studying his own reflection. You have his eyes. Whose eyes? His father's. And if so, why would that woman know? At exactly 11:45 a.m., Jamal stood outside 217 Maple Street, a massive house with a perfectly manicured lawn. His stomach twisted. What was he walking into? Before he could second-guess himself, the door opened. The pregnant woman stood there, but now, she wasn't alone. Beside her was a man in a crisp suit, his expression unreadable. Come in, Jamal, she said softly. There's something you need to know. At the same moment, miles away, the black SUV pulled into a private garage. Old Joe stepped out, but he wasn't Old Joe anymore. The dirt had been washed away, his beard trimmed, his posture strong. The man who greeted him nodded. They're ready for you, Mr. Whitmore. Whitmore. That name meant something in this city. It belonged to the family who owned half the downtown buildings, The ones who'd vanished from the public eye years ago after a scandal no one ever really understood. Jamal sat in a plush chair, his fingers gripping the armrests. The woman, her name was Evelyn, handed him a photo. This was taken 20 years ago, she said. The image showed a younger version of old Joe, except he wasn't a homeless man. He was smiling, wearing a suit, his arm around a woman who looked just like Jamal's mother. That's your father, Evelyn whispered. And he didn't abandon you. He was forced to disappear. Jamal's breath caught. Forced. What did that even mean? Before he could ask, Evelyn's husband leaned forward. There are people who've been watching you, Jamal. People who don't want the truth to come out. And just like that, the pieces began to click, but into what? Jamal had no idea. Because if his father was alive, if he was connected to the Whitmores, then why had he been living on the streets for 17 years? And why was he being taken back now? The answers were coming. But so was the danger. Because some secrets aren't just buried, they're guarded star. And whoever hid them wasn't about to let them go without a fight. Jamal's hands trembled as he stared at the photo. The man in the suit, his father looked nothing like the broken soul he'd seen on the streets. The resemblance was undeniable, the same sharp jawline, the same deep-set eyes. But if this was really his dad, why had he been living like a ghost for nearly 2 decades? Evelyn's voice snapped him back to the present. Your father's name is Daniel Whitmore, she said, her fingers tightening around her teacup. And 17 years ago, he made a choice that cost him everything. Jamal's throat went dry. What kind of choice? Before she could answer, a sharp knock at the door made them all freeze. The man in the suit, Evelyn's husband, Marcus, exchanged a quick glance with her before moving to the window. His jaw clenched. We need to go. Now. Jamal's pulse spiked. Who's out there? Marcus didn't answer. Instead, he grabbed Jamal's arm and pulled him toward a back hallway. There's a car waiting. Evelyn will explain everything on the way. As they slipped out the rear door, Jamal caught a glimpse of a black sedan idling at the curb, different from the SUV that had picked up his father, but just as ominous. 2 men in dark suits stood on the porch, ringing the doorbell with an urgency that sent chills down his spine. Meanwhile, inside a high-rise downtown, Daniel Whitmore, no longer old Joe stood in front of a floor-to-ceiling window, staring at the city he'd once owned. The man who had greeted him at the garage, a sharp-eyed lawyer named Reynolds, cleared his throat. They've been looking for you, Daniel. And now that you're back, they'll come for Jamal too. Daniel's knuckles turned white as he gripped the windowsill. I didn't have a choice back then. I had to disappear to keep him safe. Reynolds sighed. You testified against the wrong people. They weren't just going to let that slide. A flash of memory hit Daniel, gunfire in the dark, his wife's scream, the desperate decision to fake his own death and vanish into the streets. He had thought it was the only way to protect his family. But now, with Jamal pulled into this mess, he wondered if he'd made the worst mistake of his life. Back in the car, Evelyn finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. Your father was a whistleblower, Jamal. He exposed something powerful, people who don't play by the rules. They threatened to kill you and your mother if he didn't disappear. Jamal's stomach twisted. So he just left us? He thought it was the only way to keep you alive. Marcus cut in, eyes darting to the rearview mirror. But now that they know he's back, they'll assume he's talked. And that makes you a target. Jamal's mind reeled. All these years, he thought his father was just another deadbeat. But the truth? He was a man who'd sacrificed everything. A sudden thud against the car window made Jamal jump. A motorcycle roared past, the rider's face hidden behind a tinted visor. Marcus swore under his breath and hit the gas. They found us. Somewhere else in the city, a shadowy figure dialed a number, his voice cold. The kid's with them. And Whitmore's alive. Clean this up before it gets messy. The line went dead. And just like that, the clock started ticking. Jamal had just met his father for the first time in his life, but if they didn't move fast, it might also be the last. The car screeched around a corner, tires smoking against asphalt as Marcus fought to lose the motorcycle tailing them. Jamal clutched the door handle, his heart hammering against his ribs. The world outside blurred, streetlights smeared into streaks of gold, faces in other cars turning to stare as they flew past. Evelyn's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, her face draining of color. Daniel's safe, for now. But they've put a price on his head and yours. Jamal's mouth went dry. Who are these people? Marcus cut in, his voice tight. Powerful. The kind who make problems disappear, permanently. A second motorcycle roared up beside them, the rider's gloved hand reaching for something at his hip. Jamal didn't wait to see what it was. He lunged across Evelyn, shoving her down as the window beside her exploded in a shower of glass. Gunshots. They were shooting at them. Across town, Daniel paced the penthouse like a caged animal. Reynolds was shouting into a phone, demanding backup, but the words barely registered. 17 years of hiding, of letting his son believe he was nothing, and now, because he dared to come back, Jamal was in the crosshairs. We need to move him. Reynolds snapped, hanging up. They've already tracked the kid. It's only a matter of time before Daniel didn't let him finish. He grabbed his jacket. Where are they? You can't go out there. You're the one they really want. Daniel's hands shook, not from fear, but from fury. That's my son star. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, Daniel Whitmore walked out the door ready to fight. Back in the car, Marcus swerved into an alley, the motorcycles still on their tail. Jamal's breath came in ragged gasps. The bullet had missed Evelyn by inches. We can't keep running. Jamal shouted. We're not. Marcus growled. He yanked the wheel hard, sending the car skidding into a deserted parking garage. We're making a stand. The motorcycles screeched to a halt behind them. 2 riders. Both armed. Evelyn grabbed Jamal's arm. There's a door at the back, run and don't look back. I'm not leaving you. Marcus already had his own gun drawn. Kid, this isn't a debate. Go. Jamal hesitated, then bolted. Behind him, gunfire erupted, the sound echoing like thunder in the concrete jungle. His lungs burned, but he didn't stop. He couldn't. Then, a hand yanked him into a shadowed doorway. Jamal. The voice was rough, unfamiliar, but the eyes. Jamal froze. The homeless man. His father. Daniel's grip tightened. Listen to me. They've got people everywhere. You trust no one except A new sound cut him off, sirens. Police. Or something worse. Daniel's face hardened. We're out of time. Somewhere above them, a door slammed. Footsteps. Too many to count. They were surrounded. And in that moment, Jamal realized the terrifying truth. This wasn't just about secrets anymore. This was about survival. The footsteps grew louder, heavy boots echoing through the parking garage like a death march. Jamal pressed against the damp concrete wall, his father's grip like iron on his shoulder. Daniel's eyes darted, calculating escape routes with the precision of a man who'd spent years surviving on the streets. Back door, Daniel mouthed, nudging Jamal toward a rusted service exit. But as Jamal turned, a shadow moved in the darkness. A figure stepped into the dim light, police badge glinting, gun drawn. Marcus. Jamal's breath caught. Relief flooded him until he saw the icy detachment in Marcus's eyes. The way his weapon wasn't pointed at the approaching enemies, but at them. Sorry, kid, Marcus said, voice hollow. Money talks louder than morals. Evelyn stumbled into view behind him, face blooded, her trembling hands raised. Jamal, run. A gunshot cracked. Evelyn dropped. Time fractured. Daniel roared, shoving Jamal behind a pillar as return fire erupted. Bullets sparked off metal, the acrid stench of gunpowder choking the air. Jamal's vision swam. Evelyn's lifeless fingers still twitched near his shoes. Marcus had been working for them the whole time. Down. Daniel tackled Jamal as another volley shredded the wall where his head had been. Plaster rained down. Somewhere in the chaos, Marcus barked orders. Whitmore dies first. The boy's worth double alive. Daniel's breath was ragged against Jamal's ear. Listen carefully. There's a safe house beneath the old train station. Combination is your birthday. Go. He pressed a key into Jamal's palm. Jamal clutched it, shaking. I'm not leaving you. You have too. Daniel's smile was grim. Because if they're willing to kill their own to silence this. He yanked a pistol from his waistband. Then what I hid in that safe will burn them all to the ground. A fresh wave of gunfire erupted. Daniel spun from cover, returning shots with terrifying accuracy. 2 men fell. Marcus ducked behind a car, screaming for reinforcements. Jamal ran past Evelyn's body, past the blood-smeared concrete as his father's final shout chased him into the night. Remember, trust no one. The last thing Jamal heard before the garage doors swallowed him whole? The thunderous boom of an explosion. And the sickening certainty that his father had just sacrificed himself to buy his escape. But as Jamal vanished into the city's underbelly, one horrific question haunted his every step. If even family friends were traitors, who the hell could he trust now? And more importantly, what secret was so damning that men were still dying to keep it buried after 17 years? The answer waited in that safe house. If he lived long enough to reach it. The old train station loomed ahead, its broken windows like hollow eyes watching Jamal's every move. His lungs burned, his legs ached, but he couldn't stop. Behind him, sirens wailed in the distance. They were coming. And if what his father said was true, the answers and the danger were waiting right beneath his feet. The key turned with a rusty screech. The hidden door groaned open, revealing a narrow staircase swallowed by darkness. Jamal's hands shook as he descended, each step colder than the last. At the bottom, a single light flickered to life, revealing a small room and a safe. Your birthday. He spun the dial. 0-8-2-1. The lock clicked. Inside wasn't money. Wasn't weapons. Just a single, thick envelope. Jamal tore it open, and photos spilled across the floor, photos of men in suits shaking hands with faces he recognized from the news. Powerful people. Dangerous people. And tucked beneath them, a faded document with a seal at the top that made his blood run cold. Classified. Federal evidence. Then he saw the name at the bottom. Daniel Whitmore, witness testimony. This was what got his father killed. This was why they'd hunted him. Not just some business scandal, a conspiracy that went all the way to the top. Illegal arms deals. Government cover-ups. And the proof was in his hands. A floorboard creaked above him. Jamal froze. They'd found him. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. He grabbed the heaviest thing he could find, a rusted pipe, and backed against the wall, heart slamming against his ribs. The door at the top of the stairs swung open. A silhouette moved in the shadows. Drop the pipe, kid. You swing that thing, you're gonna regret it. The voice was rough. Familiar. Jamal's breath caught. No. It wasn't possible. The figure stepped into the light. Tattered coat. Unshaven face. Eyes full of 17 years of regret. Daniel. Alive. Jamal's knees nearly gave out. Saw the explosion. Diversion, Daniel said, limping forward. A fresh bloodstain soaked through his sleeve. Had to make them think I was dead. Again. He glanced at the papers in Jamal's hands, then nodded. Now you see why. Jamal stared at his father. Really looked at him for the first time. The scars. The exhaustion. The quiet fury of a man who'd spent half his life in hiding just to protect the son he couldn't hold. Outside, tires screeched. Voices shouted. They were out of time. Daniel grabbed Jamal's shoulder. We leave now, we live. But this, he snatched the documents. This ends today. Then came the twist Jamal never saw coming. Daniel pulled out a phone. Dialed. And when the line connected, he said 2 words. Release it. Somewhere in a newsroom across the city, a reporter hit send. Emails blasted to every major outlet. Files uploaded to servers no one could erase. The truth, raw and unfiltered, exploding into the world before the men in suits could stop it. Daniel's smile was sharp. 17 years, he whispered. And now they're the ones who have to hide. The door above them burst open. But this time, the voices weren't shouting orders. They were shouting panic. Because the world knew now. And as Jamal and his father slipped into the tunnels beneath the city alive, together, finally free one thing was certain. The hunters had just become the hunted. Fade to black. The final chapter, dawn after the storm The tunnels beneath the city were damp and dark, the air thick with the scent of rust and old concrete. Jamal kept close to his father, their footsteps echoing through the narrow passageways. Every distant shout from above made his pulse jump, but Daniel moved with the calm certainty of a man who'd spent years navigating shadows. Where are we going? Jamal whispered, clutching the last of the documents they'd saved, the ones that hadn't been leaked yet. The ones that named names. Daniel didn't slow down. Somewhere safe. Somewhere they won't think to look. They emerged hours later on the outskirts of the city, the first light of dawn painting the sky in pale gold. A small, weathered house stood at the end of a dirt road, surrounded by overgrown grass and silence. Daniel hesitated at the gate, his jaw tight. Who lives here? Jamal asked. The front door creaked open before Daniel could answer. A woman stood there, her face lined with years of worry, her eyes wide with disbelief. Jamal's breath caught. Mom. She looked older than he remembered. Her hair streaked with grey, her hands trembling as they flew to her mouth. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then she stumbled forward, pulling Jamal into a crushing embrace. I thought, her voice broke. I thought I'd lost you both. Over her shoulder, Jamal saw his father's face raw with emotion, regret, relief. Daniel hadn't just been surviving all these years. He'd been waiting for the day he could come home. The news broke like wildfire. By noon, every major network was running the story. The scandal. The corruption. The powerful men who'd thought they were untouchable, now scrambling as arrests were made, as their empires crumbled under the weight of the truth. Marcus's face flashed across the screen, handcuffed, his expensive suit rumpled as federal agents shoved him into a car. Evelyn's death hadn't been for nothing. Her sacrifice, along with Daniel's evidence, had been the final piece that brought it all down. Jamal sat on the porch of that little house, the morning sun warm on his skin. His mother's hand rested on his shoulder, her grip tight, like she was afraid he'd vanish if she let go. All this time, she murmured. He was protecting us. Daniel stepped outside then, holding 2 mugs of coffee. He handed one to Jamal, their eyes meeting, really seeing each other for the first time without fear. I'm sorry, Daniel said, voice rough. For everything. Jamal took the coffee. The heat seeped into his fingers. You came back. A ghost of a smile crossed Daniel's face. Always. The city would rebuild. The headlines would fade. But in that quiet house at the edge of the world, something broken was finally healing. Jamal had spent his life thinking his father was a ghost. Turns out, he'd been a hero all along. Fade to black.